welcome back to the stage the fabulous Juliet Fisher Schuline.
Welcome back, suckers. So I used to be a really good mom. I did. Before I had kids, I was fantastic. We have this dog, Nemo. He's 15 now, but we got him before we had kids. And I used to carry him around in one of those little purses, where the little head stuck out, Those little puppy feet never touched the ground. He was so cute. And even after I had kids, I was still a pretty good mom. I was, But I feel like my good mothering skills had like a 12-year shelf life. It was like the second Jackson turned 12, I was like, okay, I'm tapping out. Who's coming in? I look at my 11-year-old now, and I'm like, you don't need me, right? I mean, you got this, right? Because I'm just done, y'all. I'm done making lunches, and I'm done cooking dinner, and I'm done cleaning up. I'm just done. Don't tell my husband this, but sometimes I fantasize about getting a divorce so that I can have every other weekend off. I remember when my sister-in-law came into the family. She was a divorcee with 2 kids of her own. And my mother-in-law looked at me one time and she said, can you imagine how difficult it is to be a single parent? And I said, she's got a nanny and every other weekend off. Where do I sign up? That sounded like a freaking vacation, man. I mean, I think that there are, I do. I think there are women out there who are really meant to be mothers. I do. I'm just starting to wonder if I am not one of them, I mean, I feel like I can look back on my life in chapters. I have my Texas youth chapter, and then my high school San Diego chapter, and my UCLA chapter, my New York chapter, and now this is my housewife mom chapter, and I feel like it's been a great chapter, and I am ready to move on. Where's that next chapter? But I can't, because there are all these responsibilities, all this adulting I gotta do. I mean, don't get me wrong, all jokes aside, I love being a mom, I do. But the day I actually became a mother was a fantastic day. But there was an actual shift in my being. See, as an actor, we are selfish by nature. We have to be, because we are the product we're selling, which is why we bore the crap out of you with our resume and how great we were in our last production. I mean, that's the equivalent of you guys talking about insurance or computers or whatever vocation you have chosen. But once you become a parent, life ceases being about you. Everything from a laugh to a burp is all about that baby, and rightfully so. It was a change I was happy to make, because in the back of my head I kept thinking, well, of course I'll go back to performing, I just have to wait until that baby's a little bit older. And then 3 years go by, and another one comes along. And again, I'm happy to wait. The shift happened so gradually. I gave up my 3-inch heels for flip-flops. I went from wearing full beat makeup to putting on chapstick. I went from dressing to the nines to, well, just dressing, usually in yoga pants. I went from late nights and show folks to suburbia and really, really nice, normal people. Juliet Fisher got packed away, and Juliet Schuline, aka Jackson and Cole's mom and Doug's wife, became my identity. And I like her. I do. I really do. But I felt like I was trying to fit into a world of penguins when I was really a peacock, I mean, I'm loud and brassy and colorful, and I like to wear small clothing, okay? But I felt like I was playing a part, that I had to play small. I did my best to fit in, to keep my feathers hidden. I didn't always succeed, but I did a pretty good job until finally one day, I forgot who I was. You look up and 13 years have gone by, and that comeback never came. I went from a world of being applauded on stage to being the invisible woman who magically makes laundry and dinner appear. It is not simple to say. Most days, I don't recognize me. These shoes and this clothing, that house and that kitchen have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be. It's true, I was always attention's sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. It's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. Now I got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two. For that girl that I know would be reckless just enough, who gets hurt but who learns how to toughen up when she's used and gets froze and abused in her life. And then she'll feel stuck and be scared of this life that's inside her, growing stronger each day, until it finally reminds her to fight just a little and bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone, that it used to be mine. It used to be mine. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. That's kind of it in a nutshell, you know? How do you balance between who you used to be and who you are? How do you balance between the two when the chasm is so huge? I feel like I'm constantly playing a part, you know, this part of best mom and housewife ever, and it feels like such a sham. I go on Facebook, or Fakebook, as I like to call it, and I see all these posts of all these great families or all the parties I wasn't invited to or how great so-and-so's kid is, and it makes me feel like such a failure, you know? So what do? Well, then I go post pictures of my fantastic family, you know, and how great they are. But see, this is the part that you don't actually get to see. It's like this. It's like, okay, everybody, boys, get in the picture, okay? I gotta take a photo, okay? Cole, honey, no bunny ears. No. All right. Jackson, baby, can you just smile for once, like a real smile? Okay. Doug, babe, I got it. Everybody, look over here. Jesus fucking Christ, smile! of my life. It's such bullshit. But we all do it, and we all know that we all do it, but we all do it anyways, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. Who are we trying to impress, you know? Facebook land? I say we start posting the real pictures, you know, the one where our house looks like a bomb went off, or like one where our kids just like screaming at us. You're like, ooh, that's good. What was that? I remember like a year ago, there was this thing going around Facebook, and it was post 7 black and white pictures in 7 days. Do you guys remember that one? And everybody was posting all these like fantastic pictures of my kitchen sink looks so good. Or they're like, oh, my backyard is just so spotless. And all I wanted to do was like take a picture of me like scooping up the dog poop. You know? Or a nice black and white of me wiping the pee that I just sat in off the toilet seat. Let's get that going around Facebook, huh? Hashtag real fucking life. And then last year, an opportunity came my way. A director friend of mine called me up and he said that he had a part that was perfect for me. And he was right. It was like this part was written for me. The show was called 9 to 5. And I was playing the Lily Tomlin role, which meant that it needed to be an older woman, but in this case she had to be able to sing and dance her ass off, and she needed to be sharp-tongued and sarcastic. I mean, I don't mean to brag or nothing, but there's not a lot of 40-something-year-old women who can fit that criteria, you know? It's such a good part. Meaty, tons of dialogue, 7 songs, fantastic dancing. I mean, it filled my cup in ways that I haven't felt in years. And the people, my people, being with my actor tribe again, a group full of wonderful actors who were seeing me for the very first time, actually seeing me. I felt sexy and desirable again. I was being seen as something other than cheap labor. The invisible woman was being seen. Someone to hold you too close. Someone to hurt you too deep. Someone to sit in your chair and ruin your sleep and make you aware of being alive. Being alive. And they thought I was great. The audience thought I was great. I felt more alive than I had in years. I got applause and standing ovations. Hell, I did a costume change on stage and the audience applauded. Do you know the last time I got applause for taking my clothes off? Let's just say it's been a while, and that was back in college, so it doesn't really count. It broke me up inside and reminded me who I used to be. Someone you have to let in. Someone whose feelings you spare. Someone who, like it or not, will want you to share a little, a lot of being alive. Being alive. Home life started to look a little bleak. Nobody applauds me at home, and believe me, I tried. The shows were on weekends only, and by Sunday night, I didn't want to come home. I would drag myself through Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and by Thursday I was so excited that Friday was almost here, and I could go back to my happy place. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Let me confuse my pain with praise. Let me be used. Vary my days. To be honest, I didn't want to go home. Going home made me depressed. Doing laundry made me depressed. It got so bad that walking into the kitchen to make dinner would send me into a panic attack. It was like I was addicted to this drug. This high that I got from doing the show every night was so amazing, and my body was jonesing for more. Somebody crowned me with love. Somebody forced me to care. Somebody make me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive. Being alive. Being Now, don't get me wrong. I realize that we all need to cook food and do laundry for our families. But what I was starting to realize was that that had become my life purpose. If you asked me on any given day what I did, it revolved around cooking, cleaning, laundry, and driving the kids around. You know, it was dance lessons and tennis lessons and horse vaulting, but nothing for me. I mean, I'm an artist, but for the most part, I wasn't doing anything creative for me, and I felt like I was dying inside. I had been given this taste of my old life, and I wanted more. And I resented my current life for taking me away from it. I started to feel detached from my husband, detached from my kids. I felt like I was looking at my life through a foggy glass. I was crying all the time. I felt like I was stuck in a life that I wasn't sure I wanted anymore. Now that's really hard for me to say, because I realize I have a storybook life. Great husband, great kids, nice house, nice car. So who the fuck am I to be depressed? But what I'm realizing is that I wasn't happy with me, with who I was in life, with where I was in life, or how I was being seen or not seen. Every day was Groundhog's Day. I stopped growing for anything. I thought that living for my kids was enough, but it's not. Not for me anyways. I wasn't happy with where I was in life, with how I was being seen, or in my case, not seen. I felt trapped between worlds. I knew I couldn't go back to my old life, but I didn't feel like I fit in this one either. I felt untethered, just floating aimlessly, this overwhelming sense of not belonging. Depression. True depression is not just being sad. It is the absence of happiness. Knowing that you will never be happy again. This feeling of the world caving in, of not being able to breathe, made me want to run. And the only reason I didn't run was because I had nowhere to go. I felt like my choices were stay and be unfulfilled, or leave and be alone. And those are shitty choices. And the depression that ensued was like a darkness that consumed me. This constant feeling of suffocation put me in a fight or flight state of mind. I was making exit strategies left and right, but I can't escape myself. And at my darkest moment, I remember thinking, you're so much better off without me. They deserve so much more than me. And I just wanted the pain to stop. But in a sick way, the pain was the only thing that kept me from floating away. Help me, it's happening again. I wake up, gasping for air. I'm reaching for something that's no longer there. Dreaming of pathways back to then. knowing that it will never be. And it's suffocating. If I could just breathe, all I need to do is simply exhale and let go of you. But I cannot breathe, instead I sink down. I hold tight to you, I let myself drown. Catch me, I'm sinking far too fast. Pulled by a darkness deep inside, and I surrender to the tide. If I could just breathe, all I need to do is simply exhale and let go of you. But I cannot breathe, instead I sink down. I hold tight to you, I let myself drown. The scars fade away and the bruises all heal. I hold tight to the pain, cause I can't help but feel the pain is the only proof that you were real. Catch me as I fall through the void, wrapped up in its empty embrace, along with my memories and infinite space. Dreams of something I let go, dreams that I know will not come true, dreams of a lifetime with you. If I could just breathe, then I could move on. I'd simply exhale and you'll be gone. But I cannot breathe, I'm gonna let go. The pain is the only thing I know. Coming out of that darkness was the hardest thing I've ever done. Some days it was all I could do just to get out of bed. It was so easy to want to blame my depression on other people, you know, on my husband, on my kids. But the truth was, I just had to learn how to see myself differently. I don't hate my life. I don't hate my kids or being a mother. I lost myself along the way. And it's time to go find her again, you know? Pull out the old Juliet Fisher and marry her with Juliet Schuline. I'm still working on that. Recently, I went to a self-help retreat, and one of the exercises they had us do was to think of a memory that made you happy, made you feel at peace. It was a surprisingly hard exercise. That darkness kept trying to creep in and tell me that nothing made me happy. But slowly this little thin sliver of light started to crack through, and a memory came to me. Nothing special. And it wasn't me on stage. And it wasn't me being the center of attention. It was me sitting in my backyard with my baby boy asleep on my lap. And the sun was setting, and my husband was running through the yard with our older one. That was the memory that brought me peace. That was what made me happy. Balance. That is the key, balance. I don't have to choose between the two worlds. I have to find the balance between. Easier said than done, but it's something to work for, you know? It's progress. It's moving forward instead of backward. I am not out of the darkness just yet. And Lord knows that I've had more help than I deserve. My family has been more understanding and helpful than I could ask for. And it really does help that I'm not scared to talk about it. In fact, it's usually the first thing out of my mouth. Hi, I'm Juliet Fisher-Schuline. I have depression and I'm an Aries. Because I keep hoping that somebody somewhere will have some little piece of wisdom that will help me get through this, you know? And it has helped. As with everything in life, I pick and choose all the small bits of wisdom and mix it together to make my own personal cocktail for inner peace. And it seems the more I talk about it, the more other people are going, yeah, I get it. You know? We need to talk about it. You'll be happy to know I'm in therapy. That helps. And I've been trying different concoctions of hormones and supplements and meditation, meditation. But mostly I'm just telling my truth, y'all. Warts and all, as ugly as it is, because I'm hoping that my truth will help shed a little bit of light on someone else's darkness. Now, I wish that I could sing some really great jazz tune right now about how I fixed it and I'm all better, but that's not the case. You know, it's a struggle, man, every day. I am an unfinished book and I have no idea how I'm going to end. But what I have learned along the way is that friends make the best therapists. Asking for help is key. And sometimes, guys, it's all you can do just to get out of bed, and that's okay. Just put your head down, keep plugging away, and have hope that everything will be okay in the end, yeah? And if it's not okay, then it's not the end.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear, but fall and no one would hear?
So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. And when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand.
And know
Someone will come running,
and I know
take you home.
even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found. There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
If you only say the word,
From across the silence, your voice is heard.
Someone will come running to take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you,
you will be found.